There's a law, the obligation to care for these individuals. If that's the case, why is it on March 22nd ORR removed the proof of address requirement and exempted other household members from submitting to a background check or providing identification?
It's like you're dealing with children. Why would you do that? Or better yet, why would they allow that? Because I'm pretty sure these are government-funded programs, but the government isn't looking into what's happening. Make it make sense.
How does that aid in the obligation to care? Remove proof of address requirement.
I think what you are referring to was in the spring of 21.
Bro, oh my God, he just said that. Why are you stalling? She's talking like she has a minimum word count on an essay.
Yeah, the March 22nd, 2021. I gave you the date. What?
Okay, when there were
How does it?
children backed up, over 4,000 in DHS.
So since they're backed up, we just remove the requirement, lower the standard. I mean, that's essentially what we're saying, right?
I have a genius idea. Instead of taking in more children, how about you stop taking children, and for the children that you do have now, you hyper-focus on their safety, and any child that keeps trying to come into America illegally, you just deport them. Sounds crazy. Fucked up concept. But in my opinion, I think it's still better than just sending out kids to places with no proof of residence and no criminal background. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
There are a number of layers of.
I get it, but how does that enhance? Steps. Okay, maybe I should ask the question this way. Does that removal of the proof of address requirement for the household members that are submitted for, these children that we're trying to find a place for, does that enhance your obligation to care, or does it not enhance it?
I'm not sure if she's doing this on purpose, but it's taking her like 5 seconds to turn her mic on. Like, it's just another form of stalling, because, like, bro, just leave it on. Stop turning it off. It's just wasting a lot more time.
Congressman, we check the addresses of all sponsors.
It says proof of address requirement and exempted removed the proof of address. So you can check, but you don't have any proof, right? You can ask. I get it. You ask, right? Hey, what's your address, Mr. or Mrs. Sponsor? And they give you the address, and you write it down, and that's the end of it now, right? There's no requirement of proof of address.
I don't think that that's a fair characteristic.
Bro, I swear, you can't make this shit up. You don't think it's a fair characteristic? Homie, this is called safety and preparation. Oh my God, I swear we got the wrong people in power.
The thorough vetting process that our staff go through. And if there is any flag...
Well, let me ask you this then. On March 31st of 2021, so just a couple days later, ORR eliminated the background check requirement for immediate relatives other than a parent or legal guardian. Why would that be?
Literally, what the fuck? It's like they want kids to go missing and get trafficked and get abused, like, on purpose. Like, if this is the case that they removed the proof of address and the background check, what was the measures that they were taking for the kid's safety? Like, actually, because those would be the two main ones. The proof of address to know where the fuck they are, and the background to make sure that they're in good arms and their safety isn't being challenged.
How does that enhance the obligation to care?
It doesn't. This is actually anti-caring. Bro, 4 seconds to turn your mic on? For real?
ORR's belief is that a child is best with their parent.
You can't be fucking serious. She's giving these corporate-ass responses. And look at her face. Like, just look at her fucking face. Looking like the Hamburglar or the fucking Grimace from McDonald's. Like, can she be real for 2 seconds? If y'all believe that a kid is best with their parent, then why do y'all make it so easy for the kid to get lost?
How do you know that they're with their parent? How do you know? Are you familiar that the Department of Homeland Security under 8 U.S.C. 1365B shall create a biometric entry and exit data system? right? Even though they haven't and they haven't implemented anything like that, other than asking and other than public source information, how can you be sure it's their parent?
Didn't you just turn on your mic while he was talking? If you know it takes you 8 years to fucking turn your mic back on, why the fuck did you turn it off? Because here we go again. I have to wait 5 more fucking years for you to turn the mic on and for you to stall and give a half-ass response. Like, get to the fucking point.
Congressman, we go through a number of vetting procedures. We ask
sure you do.
the child and the parent or the sponsor questions on the same day.
If there's no good proof or evidence that they're in a safe place or with safe people, it doesn't matter what the fuck you're asking them.
We verify things with consulates.
Okay, so
How are you gonna verify shit if you guys got rid of the requirement to even check? This shit ain't adding up, bro.
what's the percentage of children that are reunited with their parent? Provable. What's your percentage? And how do you prove that?
We go through a number of.
There's no way she does not know the statistics of something that she's running. Like, bro, how? Like, a professional system would have them on deck, ready to go, because they know everything that's going on. So either the answer is really bad and she doesn't want to say, or she actually doesn't know, and I don't know what's worse.
What's the percentage, ma'am? I know you go through a number of things. You're stalling. Just answer. Just tell me. Do you have a clue?
So in this fiscal year, I believe 37%.
37% end up with their parent.
So 7 out of 10 kids don't end up with their parent. These are bad stats, and more people should know about this.
Do you ever refer for charges for abandonment? Do you understand that abandonment in many states is a felony offense? And these children are coming to the border without their parent, which qualifies them as unaccompanied, right? That's the characterization. Are the charges ever referred for abandonment?
Congressman or is not a law enforcement.
There's no way that she understood that question like that. No one said that you're a law enforcement, but you gotta be following the fucking rules. These are one of the jobs that cannot have bad apples.
I didn't say you were a law enforcement. I didn't ask you to enforce the law. Do you ever refer? Like if you found somebody doing a criminal act in your vetting process to one of these children, you're not a law enforcement agency. Would you refer charges?
I wouldn't necessarily go to the lengths to say that she would be committing the crime, but she definitely enables it because of her nasty attitude and her lack of giving a fuck. Like, there's some people who do jobs because they love it, and then there's some people who do jobs because they need a paycheck. This person here definitely is there for the paycheck. There's no remorse or no sign of sympathy. She doesn't care, and it's obvious. She doesn't give a fuck if these kids die or go missing.
We would refer to and report to the appropriate.
Okay, so how
authority.
many have you referred or reported for abandonment?
Just for that not alone, she should get 20 years, straight up. I don't understand why it's so hard for her to answer a fucking question. It's crazy because she looks so annoyed, even though this has nothing to do with her, but everything to do with the safety of children.
Our job.
Is that zero?
Dude, just when you think that it can't get worse, it literally does. Dude, how do they not refer anything? Like, there's thousands of cases and not one thing has gone wrong. I doubt that shit. Especially with all these preventative measures that they're not taking, some shit must have gone down. And the fact that it hasn't been reported is sketchy as fuck.
Because they're all coming to the border unaccompanied. And if they're unaccompanied, that means they don't have their parent, right? I mean, by definition.
And if they're running away from a parent or an abusive household, referring them back to a parental guardian isn't a smart idea either way.
Our job by Congress is to provide for the care.
God
and
bless you. We
safety
want you
of
to do the job.
On one hand, I want him to stop interrupting her and actually let her talk. But on the other hand, I know everything she's saying is just some corporate bullshit answer so she doesn't get sued.
I'm not reading from stuff that I made up. We got ORR sent over 100 unaccompanied children to a single-family house in Texas. I mean, if this vetting process is working, how does that happen?
Dude, that's a lot of motherfuckers in one house. But then it's just another prime example on why their systems are not good systems.
Whistleblowers from ORR knowingly transferred UAC to criminal and sex traffickers.
I saw that coming from a mile away. But what other reason would 85,000 kids go missing for no reason? Because they escaped? No. Sex trafficking, child trafficking, slavery trafficking. Fuck these people.
If this process is working, how is that happening? A Florida grand jury pointed out an incident where 24-year-old male was erroneously vetted as a child by ORR and then proceeded to violently murder his sponsor. I'm sure you saw it in the news. If this process is working, how are these things occurring? And let's face it, these children are coming and they're unaccompanied because someone has abandoned them. Why don't we refer charges for abandonment? I'm not asking you to do the law enforcement work, but my goodness, if your job is your obligation, statutory obligation is to care for those minors. My goodness, if you saw somebody beating up some little kid on the street, wouldn't you call the police?
Of course I would.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, buddy. I doubt that. I just want y'all to understand that this makes America look so bad. It's not even funny. I pray for the best. Everybody who's being affected by it right now, I hope that they have a happy ending. And all these people who are getting away with torturing kids, enslaving kids, sex trafficking, all that shit, I hope they have a horrible and slow death. And the people who enable shit like this, I hope they have a slow death too. I hope their eyes get gouged out. Just the worst. This is just ridiculous, bro. How the fuck does 85,000 people go missing? Like, by the way, our tax dollars funded this. We gave them the power with our money. And that's what they do. So yeah, fuck these people.
This has been happening under our nose. This a decision the kids never chose. Got me thinking a slit in my throat. Gotta be kidding, is this shit a joke? Ending of the galaxy, real life, not a fallacy. Run with our reality, trauma, not a fantasy. All this normalization, pedophilia, gotta stop.